Alright there, my name's Ragtag and I'm the greatest gutter-tier gamer on the face of this earth, and today we're going to take a look at the beautiful bugs caused by the festive physics in this marvellous Mirage event. And to be honest, some of these are perhaps persistent throughout the entire season, but they have definitely been brought to my attention now, and I've got to say, these bugs don't really detract my enjoyment from the game one bit. In fact, I'd say they add to them, although you could argue that one of them in particular adds a little bit too much, but we're going to get to that shortly. Now, if you remember back to King's Canyon, the supply ship that floats through the air has always caused issues with weapons rattling around, you know, like death boxes being unable to get collected, people doing finishers on their enemies, and then they both fly into the clouds, and on some occasions you'd get this leaving battle bug, which was initiated and timed you out of the game essentially, even if you were running around in the normal areas of a map, and it was only alleviated by jumping, making you play the literal version of the floor is lava. So with the terrain being the centre of our attention for this limited time mode, perhaps we're just starting to realise more and more how difficult it is to make a complicated FPS game works in terms of travelling objects and their relationship with every ability that may have motion or float somehow. And some things seem to work, but others get completely broken. So let's start with a beautiful little thing I found on the Zipline. I have to say I never noticed this before, but if you find yourself standing on top of the train, why not jump onto a nearby zipline and perhaps you will see what I saw, which is a trapeze artist POV. I turned around and it sorted itself with the proper latch on, but I have to say I would love to see this as an actual thing. Just choose an arm and sway yourself left and right like a magnificent creature whose hair flies free in the wind. Yes sir, I would love to do this with Gibraltar and fly like a majestic Pegasus. Another one I found that I quite enjoyed was putting Wraith's portal inside the train's wall. Now, as I mentioned earlier, stationary objects, they don't always behave on the train, so if you time it right, you dump that portal at the start, and then just as the train is getting into the station, you can get the exit just inside the train wall. And I thought I had it down correctly here, but it ended up just on the edge of that panel there, enough to confuse the hell out of my teammates and allow easy access back to the top of the iron girders. Beautiful. It didn't help me much though, because I'm a bag of shite at this game. Now this next one isn't a bug at all, but I really enjoyed revisiting Overwatch as Lucio for a brief moment, and I just truly bollocksed up my landing, only to feel like I was about to get flushed down the toilet, but instead, given a wall ride of momentum and spat back out like the reject turd that I am. The sewers have denounced me! Okay, you're here for a decent bug. I've got one for you. How about X-ray vision, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. But let me draw your attention first towards my Christmas movie, which I am going to release tomorrow, Christmas Eve. And it is one of my IRL skits that I love to do with Overclockers UK. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's stuff like this. Anyway, to continue the series, we had to make a decision about my beard, because the ragtag in those episodes is beardless, of course, and continuity is a thing when you make episodes like that. So if you want to find out what happened to my beautiful beard, Christmas Eve, 4 PM USA East Coast time and 9 PM UK time, I will deliver you the greatest Christmas story ever told, and you might even say it rivals Die Hard. Alright, so back to the X-ray vision. Stand on top of the cliffs and make your way to a good old pile of rocks. I think it is only specific rocks in particular, it's these ones. The closer you get, the visual advantage increases, which would be really handy if 99% of the games I played didn't have 6 enemies on the same side as me on this station, but it's still a very handy thing to know if you want line of sight on your enemies without actually having line of sight. And no, unfortunately, you can't shoot through what you can see through. Trust me, I tried. Now, when you play a game and you win your first round due to a hard carry from your squad mates, it is an obligatory move to punch each other to keep your testosterone levels nice and healthy, and knock one of them off just to enhance your dominance. And whilst I was doing that, I popped out my Mirage, only to realise there is an infinite trail that reminded me of those super cool bikes in the movie Tron. It's an amazing sight and another reason to truly love the physics in this game. If you throw out the Mirage in other places, sometimes the decoy will start to freak out as it tries to get the original destination, and you might see a little glitch in the Matrix. Also, remember to keep punching your teammates off the train. Now that I've got a taste for the bugs that I've been finding, could you please leave me a comment below and let me know some of the weird and wonderful things that you have encountered as well whilst playing the limited time event, or just the map in general. I'm now interested. I want to just mess about with it. Alright guys, don't miss my Christmas movie tomorrow. Take it easy, shut your fucking mouth, catch you in the next one later.